Jason Sobel from the Action Network. You see the tweet. Dustin Johnson announced that he is the latest LIV or LIV golf player to resign in quote marks from the PGA Tour membership. That is, in an effort to avoid any future discipline. Kevin Na is a guy who's thinking about that. Others have already made that jump. We'll break down all of it here as Sobel, the aforementioned, he's going to pop in, join us here. Geoff Ulrich as well. Guys, welcome. It's good to see you. We're obviously going to get to DK Sportsbook and look at the RBC Canadian Open and all of that good stuff. But we got to begin with what is happening right here with this new Saudi-backed LIV League and, of course, the PGA Tour and the relationship maybe not so friendly between the two. Let's begin with you, though, Jason. I mean, what do you think of this thing and the players that are jumping ship from the tour?
Oh, boy. How long do we have? You
have 30 seconds.
There's a lot of moving parts to this, and there's a heavy dynamic in what has become a very rapidly changing golf dynamic right now, golf landscape. And so essentially what we're seeing, this is not about growing the game. I see a lot of fans saying, I'm not into this. This is mostly players in their 40s who are at the end of their careers, who are taking great gobs of money to go out and play this other tour. I'm not that interested. And my answer to that has been, this isn't about you. This is about them. This is about the Saudi Arabian through the Public Investment Fund, which is the Saudi Arabian government's money. This is about them changing the wording, changing the phrasing of what people believe about their government. When you hear Saudi Arabia, they want you to think, oh, that's the place that runs the golf league. It has all these big-time golfers that are playing over there. It's about changing their messaging. They have tons of money. They're throwing it at players right now. This is not about trying to grow the game or trying to grow the sport or trying to even grow their own tour. So that's where we're going to start. As far as the other thing, I mean, Dustin Johnson, Kevin Na, Sergio Garcia, a few other players leaving the PGA Tour. Essentially, from what I understand, this is about them leaving the PGA Tour so they're not subject to disciplinary measures like a suspension. And then if they're still qualified for major championships, being able to play those major championships because they're not suspended. There's a whole lot of catch-22s going on in here. I'm not sure we have enough time to get through every part of what's happening right now, but that at least scratches the surface a little bit, Adam.
I believe, Jason, it was you who tweeted in the last couple of days about how the one big complaint for this LIV League is that their events don't actually have event names. So we just have to say, oh, well, the first event. Geoff, what are your thoughts on this first event that I guess is unidentifiable?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think one offshoot of this, and look, Jason's right from the backstory perspective of this, absolutely. I think it will have an effect just on how the golf landscape, the professional golf landscape looks, and like it's changing rapidly. It's going to be changing week to week. I think it's going to have an effect on how the PGA Tour does business as well eventually. But, one thing we are going to get is multiple golf events going off on the same week with professional golfers, former PGA Tour guys now, and Dustin Johnson, Kevin Na. You see the odds up there. I think that when you're approaching this event, I mean, you have got to think this is just wide open. I mean, this thing is going to be, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, obviously Dustin Johnson is a plus 400 favorite. He's clearly the best player in this field, but we don't know anything about the course. How are guys going to react to the 54-hole format? How are guys going to react to having $4 million up the grabs? Is somebody down below just going to absolutely come in and just with some swagger and freewheeling and just shoot the lights out? I think that when you're looking down, you've got to take a look at some of these long shots. Andy Ogletree, really high-end amateur at one point in his career, hasn't gotten on tracks as a pro, but could he just come in and do something like that? Some of these European Tour guys, they've competed against fields like this their entire life, just without Dustin Johnson in it. They could absolutely get hot. I mean, guys in like plus 4,000, like Adrian Ortega. So Richard Bland. It's an event where you should definitely have some interest as a golf bettor. I just don't think that looking at the top of the board is going to be helpful at all. You should be looking down probably in the plus 3,000 and down below. And don't be afraid to take a shot with some of these guys you haven't heard of much, because some have been really good over in other tours in other parts of the world.